G'day, welcome to episode 496 of the Aussie Tech Head. How you doing? It is the 28th of July, 2016. It's a Thursday night once again, and we are trying to be live on Facebook. So hopefully if you're watching us on Facebook Live, I hope it's not buffering. We're having a bit of a buffer issue, but, that's the internet. I don't know when the HFC and NBN's going to roll out, but, geez, hanging out for it. All right, tonight we've got a great show. We've rounded up some stories, and we're going to tell you all about them and bring you right up to date. But first, I must tell you that we are brought to you by ATH Web Hosting. That is Aussie Tech Head's web hosting, ATH Web Hosting. Go and have a look at there if you need some hosting for your business, blog, or whatever. Also, AussieTechRadio.com. Tune it up on the TuneIn Radio app, or go to AussieTechRadio.com and listen from there. It's a radio station, more or less, a 24/7, no ads. Don't think there's any ads. No ads. It's ad-free. It's
ad-free.
Ad-free. How do you do? How do you
prefer it to have some ads?
Yeah.
We'd like some ads, so if anyone's interested.
Yeah, you can.
Give us a roll, and we'll take your money.
That's right. Give me a yell, because we are looking at building that system out, hopefully. Also, Facebook, contacts on facebook.com/Aussie Tech Heads, youtube.com/Aussie Tech Heads, and the webpage at aussietechheads.com.au/podcast, where you can find all the show notes. Whatever we talk about, most of the important stuff, we will put into a list and put them on the web so you can see where the actual stories are if you wish to follow them up and read further into some of them. Good news this week. I'll talk about that in a moment, because we've also got to tell you, don't forget the Aussie Mac Zone. They've done their 150th show last week, and they've got prizes to give away, so go and download that and suss it out. Now, let's get into it. I'll tell you about some other shows soon, because there is one more show that's come out this week. It hasn't been out for 6 months, but we'll find about that in a bit. But first, we're going to see who's on tonight. We've got Eric, as usual, and Jace. Remember Jace Warlock? One of the great top 2 podcasters in Australia. Hello.
Did you say you're having problem with buffering? They never have problem with buffering.
That's the one. They call it my stutter, but it's not. It's buffer. That nearly rhymes, doesn't it? That's all right. All right. So what's been going on, Jace?
Well, I moved up to the mid-north coast of New South Welsh again.
Good.
And we got the NBN, so it's nice here, a bit quieter than the big cities and stuff, but
that's the go.
Can relax a bit more. That's the kind of thing you can do when you've got a job that's online.
Isn't that good? Yes. I was only looking for jobs just out of interest online, like remote jobs. There's a site, I don't know if you've heard of it, called Flex Jobs. Have you heard of that site? Yeah, and apparently that's where you go. That's the go-to place, apparently. You get all the, what do they call it? The name of it just popped out of my head. All the
fly in, fly out.
No, just the telecommute. The telecommute.
You have to talk to Gina Reinhardt about that one.
Yeah, she'll pay you. She'll pay you well.
She'll give you $5 an hour if you're lucky.
Always puts on a good feed too at her house. Now,
it looks like it, yeah.
Oh, good God.
Now, well, she does.
Edit point.
What? I'm not saying anything. Now, really? Okay. 4:38. I'll write that down. Okay. You push me into these things. I don't know. I said it in all good-heartedness. Now, Jace, you've brought another old fart geeks is out. Good stuff.
Yeah, finally we've got another episode. People have been waiting, chomping at the bit since last September. It was. We discovered before Will was going to even have his kid, and now it's 9 months old. We're like, wow, we should do a show, I guess.
Yeah. And what did you talk about this episode?
We talked about Leisure Suit Larry.
Oh,
some friends of mine got a new game out called Hyper Sentinel. It's from Houston. They used to have a lot of Commodore 64 and Amiga games back in the day, and they've got a couple of Kickstarter things been going lately. So been supporting them, and cool new...
Back to Leisure Suit Larry, that's a game blast from the past.
Yeah.
That's why it's on Old Hard Geeks.
It's a retro technology show. So
he was a sleazebag, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, was he?
My cousin thought it was hilarious, and they're like 5 girls at the time, teenagers. So,
and Leisure Suit Larry.
And look, I got carried away with talking to Jace there for a sec. I got all flustered, but we were talking to the greatest podcaster in Australia. I forgot to introduce Eric.
It happens.
It does
Oh,
have
it's
it.
all right, mate.
Hey.
I understand. When you're
Everyone
not
knows
in
who
the
he
top,
is.
when you're not in the top 100, there's no point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, how you been going, Eric? Anyway, good.
All right,
Since last
very
week.
good.
Good.
Since last week,
Yeah.
I officially started my law degree yesterday.
Right. Good.
So
What have you learnt
I'm
so
hoping. Well, I'll hold up a book. Now you tell me something.
far? Hmm.
Ethics in law. Well, what do you need that for? You don't need that to be a lawyer. It's exactly the opposite.
Jason, it's funny you say that because I thought to myself, that shouldn't that just be blank pages?
Yeah. All 2 pages. Don't do it.
Shouldn't
This
yeah.
page intentionally left blank.
Yeah. If you,
So I think you just fill it in yourself.
Yeah.
you can download
Make
it.
it up
It's a
as you go along. That's how everybody else does it.
you can download it. It's a 0-byte file. So there you go.
Zero
you go.
text file.
That's right. All right, now look, let's get into some stories. Let's see what's going on again around the place. It has been, as Jay said to me before the show, again, it's been slow couple of weeks. Nothing really is going on, like unless you want to talk Pokemon. But
No.
I know Eric.
Eric does.
You despise it, Eric. Sounds like you're actually despising it.
No, I don't despise it. I don't despise anything except you. But no, I don't despise anything. It's just that when people get taken by a craze, it just annoys me. Because it'll be like this. It'll be this
Yeah.
straight up,
You don't
straight
go
down.
for none of
But
that newfangled hoity-toity crap.
But good on Pokemon for creating a buzz because they're going to make a fortune out of this.
Yeah.
So on
Yeah,
a
but
commercial
did you
level,
hear what happened about
congrats. No.
that? When the Pokemon Go came out, everybody was happy because Nintendo shares went through the roof, and then they found out it's not published by Nintendo and they don't get any money, so their shares dropped through the floor again.
Back to where it should have been.
So
Yeah, it's owned by the Pokemon
But whoever-
Corporation.
Well, whoever did it, good for them. They'll make a few $1 million in a very short period of time. And if they can relax at Bermuda for a while, good for them.
Google made it through their Niantic project. They also did the Ingress years ago that I've been doing,
yes.
and they just repurposed that for Pokemon Go. It's the same system.
Yeah. Right. Nice.
There you
So
go.
I did see today actually that it looked like an American that created it. He had a bit of a write up, but I think that's the bit of the thing with like if you enter this .com world, I think you only really have you'd be lucky to have a 5-year business plan, wouldn't you, Eric? You'd be aiming for
It depends. It depends.
get in and
If
get
you-
out.
Depends. It depends what you know. If you're going to develop something like an electric car, it's not really online, but the technology and all. It just depends on the business, I think. If you were
Apple's
smart,
still
you'd create
supposed to be
one
doing
app like Instagram, right, and sell it to Facebook for $5 billion and get the hell out of there.
Yeah, but it's like that Farmville, and all these sort of games. And
Oh, I
stuff
remember
like
that, and Angry Birds.
Yeah, Angry Birds has gone off the boil, hasn't it?
Farmville used to be great, but then after a while you think, nah, not playing it anymore.
I just saw there's a new Plants vs Zombies come out.
That's a good game.
Oh, that's the other one.
Yeah.
That's the other one, yeah.
Is that where the zombies come at you? Like,
I got no idea. I just saw it mentioned on somebody's
But the
Facebook.
thing is, if you're a company that comes up with a few games, you're okay. You keep developing one game, bring it out, creates a bit of a buzz, you make some money. That dies in the butt. You create another game, same thing, buzz, make some money, dies in the butt. That's fine. That's part of that's part of the dynamic nature of online gaming or apps. But if you've got a company with one game and you don't do anything else, I think you're going to be in trouble if no one buys you. I think that
Brovio-
happened. Brovio, yeah, that's who I was
They
going to say.
made 57 dud games before they got to Angry Birds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they didn't have
company's
made
going
another one
bankrupt.
since. Now they're gone, aren't they?
No, they did. They've done several Angry Birds in Space, Angry Birds Star Wars Edition, and then they did Bad Piggies, which was the pig side of the story. And
That's
Did
fun.
devices.
did they sell? I'm assuming they sold the rights to the movie as well.
Yeah, they got the
Because
movies came out.
So the movie's happening. But back on the Pokemon thing, that was a Nintendo trademark and intellectual property. How did this guy get his hands on it?
It's owned by the Pokemon Corporation. They created a whole corporation for it.
Yeah, but initially wasn't it owned by Nintendo?
It was created by one of the guys at Nintendo. He wanted to It was based on his fondness for insects, and he used to go out collecting them and
Well,
writing
this is
down
way
all
back then
statistics.
or now?
Yeah, way back then.
Right. And how did he
And
split
then-
it out of Nintendo? But wouldn't that intellectual property belong to Nintendo?
They must have split it out at some stage into a separate company, I guess.
Well, the only thing I can think of is that if they split it out to a separate company, then it's still owned by Nintendo, or it died in the butt years ago, and this guy said, "Oh, look, can I buy it off you?" And they said, "Yeah, whatever, take it," because otherwise he'd be getting his pants sued of him.
The Pokemon Company is a Japanese company. It's responsible for marketing and licensing Pokemon franchise established through joint investment by 3 businesses holding copyright on Pokemon, Nintendo, Game Freak, and Creatures.
Well,
So Nintendo has got a stake in it then.
They've got a stake in it, but they don't own it, so that's why the shares went up and then
So
back
they'd
down.
be getting they'd be getting royalties
Yeah.
more than the actual.
my only thing is that if you're confined to a certain space, you don't get any. You can't find any Pokemons, or they come every 3 or 4 days. Not like you don't.
Yeah, there's not much happening where I am in town, in this little town, country town.
Yeah, and like if you.
What town would that be, Jason?
One on the mid-north coast of New South Wales.
Oh, come on.
But that doesn't matter. But like I know, and also you got to get to a level 5 before things start opening up, and like the gyms and all this sort of stuff before, and choose your team and everything. Like I don't know, like you got to be pretty keen to stick that out. I reckon to level 5. Like
There's one good thing that's been happening though is a lot of people who have mental health problems and anxiety and stuff couldn't leave their house and been going downhill with depression and stuff are getting out of their house, walking the streets, catching Pokemon, getting exercise, which is helping with their mental health and anxiety problems, and it's starting to help them recover from their issues.
yeah, well that's a good outcome for the good.
People get exercise.
Yeah, like healthy body, healthy mind. That's what they say. But yeah, so
Discover bits to get down you never knew.
yeah, well, I know my little bloke. He watches this Minecraft videos. They got just people playing the
Never
game.
heard of it. What's that?
Yeah, what is that? And there's one of the guys. Oh, you might know the name off the top of your head. I don't know, Jace, but he started in Minecraft, and now he's showing us all around the Pokemon, and he's quite well set up. He's out on the street and he's getting filmed. I don't know if he's got a partner with him or whatever, but on the video he produced, he's got his phone screen on one side, a picture of a video of him on the other side, and yeah, he goes pretty good. He's good. There's heaps of stuff out there on YouTube, and I think they're starting to be. Is there little splint-offs now of even the Pokemon Go game? There's other little games that are sort of tying all in and trying to, jump on the bandwagon. But,
Although there are a lot of people who are setting up computers with GPS faking coordinates, and they feed it into their phone so you can go anywhere in the world and catch a Pokemon that might be down the road or in another country.
what's the point in cheating in a game? Like in a
There is
game,
none.
in a game that gives you nothing, in a game that well, apart from the entertainment, I suppose, and zapping all your time, it gives you nothing. You cannot win. There's no point in which you win and say, "Thanks, I'll take the check." There's none of that. It's just
it's like Minecraft, sort of open-ended.
You're only cheating the game when you think, I just want to finish this off so I don't have to play it again.
But you never finish.
Yeah, that's not really a thing. There's one guy who's got all 145 currently available Pokemon, but he's been travelling forever.
Right. So do you reckon? So he's been travelling like different countries and stuff.
Not sure where he's been going to, but he's
God, how
managed
much
to catch
time would you have to have on your hands to do that?
Too much.
unemployed, I guess.
I reckon.
God almighty.
Yeah. Well.
Anyway, I thought we weren't talking about Pokemon. Move it along now.
Yeah. Okay. Now
I
look.
never heard of it.
Now you might think that things are going pretty bad, but ransomware is only to go and get worse. And sooner or wouldn't it be strange? It'd probably get to a stage where you capture Pokemon, but it was actually ransomware, and it
That'd be
opens up
excellent.
and stuff.
I hope that happens.
Yeah, you would. Now, Cisco's done a 2016 mid-year cybersecurity report, and they've noted fragile infrastructures, poor network hygiene, and slow detection rates are the primary reasons corporations are falling victim to ransomware attacks. So, look, ransomware is on the up. It's not just coming through emails now. It seems to be, it's looked
Browser based, isn't it?
Yeah, it's coming from all different sorts of places. So I believe Cisco believes it will become more dangerous in the coming months as new varieties come online. The report stated that 20% of Google Chrome users were not operating the newest version, even though they were on auto updates. I'm not sure how that works. That's obviously something broken in Google Chrome.
Yeah.
And the situation gets worse with other regular software, like Java. There's 33% of systems still run Java SE6, and at the moment we're currently up to Java SE10. Now, 10% of those running Microsoft Office 2013, which is not really that old. It's only one version behind the current version, 2016. So 10% of those running Microsoft 2013 Office have version 15, have the latest service packs installed. So that's 90% of people who have Office 2013 haven't got the latest service packs. You would think that, well, I suppose they're not a...
I update my stuff all the time. I'm always checking about, every 3 days or so, I'll check Windows updates. I'll just do a quick check, manual check. Because sometimes it sits in the background and I'll install it later. And same with the
Skype
Office.
doesn't give you a choice.
No, Skype's good that way.
Yeah, bloody awesome. I love it so much.
Yeah, so so
it's I always check my stuff.
Just to fill you guys in, just before the show, we were just starting to get ready to do the show, and Warlock pops off. Well, as in, like, he drops out of the Skype.
Rephrase.
Yeah, he drops out of the Skype call. And, so he comes back in after 5 minutes, and we go, and there he's going, oh, he's bloody Microsoft, they've just updated Skype. So he comes back in and says, yeah, my Skype just auto-updated in the middle of a call.
I was just taking a guess. I was taking a guess.
Times.
Yeah, so just as well you weren't in the middle of a multi-billion sale with your stockbroker, Jace. You would have been...
Can I just get you to...
What was that? Now, to help eventually reverse this situation, Cisco said companies must give malicious actors less time running free inside their systems. So it hasn't got time to find the weak point. So there's obviously stuff coming that's looking and intruding into the system and, into your system. It's not very good, is it? So
that's why Microsoft wants Windows 10 to just automatically update constantly so that everybody's always on the same version. Plus, it makes it easier for programmers because you want to use a cool feature in your app, but you don't know if people on Windows 10 Service Pack 1 have got the same features as some people who've got Windows 10 Service Pack 3 with DirectX 13 or whatever comes out.
Yeah.
And you say, well, some people can't do these cool things, so I can't program it to that just in case they can't use it.
So, while you're there, are you going to talk about the Windows 10 tonight? Or this week? Or do you want me to... I can continue with some information about that.
I haven't got any Windows 10 stuff.
All right, I can continue.
Facial recognition. I already got that.
Yeah, so the Microsoft, as you might remember, 29th of July, whenever you're listening to this, is either been or has yet to be, but probably been. So that's the last day. 29th of July was the last day that you could update Windows 10 for free from Windows 7, 8 or 8.1, or 8.1 really, wasn't it? You had to update to 8.1.
I'm assuming midnight tomorrow.
So anyway,
tomorrow.
Yeah, so Windows is moving to a software as service, or sort of like a model, aren't they? There's no more. You're not going to go down the shop and buy Windows 11, or you're going to, 3 years later buy Windows 12. So what they're doing is now it's Windows 10, just with regular updates, and it's just going to keep up to date, just like the Mac OS X. So on the 2nd of August, okay, so anyone with Windows 10, on the 2nd of August, there's going to be a happy anniversary update.
Yay! We're going to have cake and streamers and balloons and stuff.
Yeah, I remember when Windows 7 came out, they had Windows 7 parties. They wanted the world...
How funny were they?
Yeah.
No one showed up.
They sent me a version.
I'll be opening till 2 a.m. so you can go down there and get your Windows.
Yeah, they sent me a. They sent you.
I remember that. They sent you a
Ultimate.
Pack.
Yeah, they sent me a Microsoft Windows 7 Ultimate 32 64-bit disc. I was laughing. Anyway,
get that?
Yeah, it was good.
I did like Windows 7 a lot.
Windows 10's just
get a room.
Windows get a room. Is that how much you liked it?
Yeah. Yeah, that's how much I liked
it. Facial recognition tool Windows Hello can now be integrated into third-party applications like Dropbox. Now, what these Windows Hello, you can use this to log into applications like Dropbox with your facial feature.
You have to have special hardware camera. You can't just use your Logitech that you've had for the last 5 years.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
a
it's
shame.
on the latest computers. My what you call it? What's that thing I got? What, the Surface 4?
Yeah.
Yep.
I got the the developer updates on it because I'm using it as a test machine, and that's got it on it, and it works on that. I just sort of put my face in front of it, it just logs me in.
Yeah,
That's
it says, I used to have that on my Android, it says face unlocked, and it didn't matter how many times I smashed it into my face, it wouldn't
Wouldn't do it.
Is that what they mean?
Did you try and type your name in with your head?
Oh, that's it. Use your nose.
Edge is also getting a handful of new updates like support for extensions, web notification integration with Windows 10 Action Center, and...
Oh, it's a rubbish browser.
Oh, isn't it what? It doesn't
Grease
work on
monkey
other
was
sites.
nice.
Yeah,
Who
it's,
uses Edge?
I like
Nobody.
how,
I know.
but I like how they hide the Internet Explorer is still there, but they hide it. You've got to go looking for
I
it.
found it and I put it I pinned it to my bar.
Yeah, well, that's the first thing I do when I do it as well. Yeah, it's got. Oh, here you go, Eric. Microsoft has big plans for stylus users.
Oh, do they?
They do. The
Stylus is a bag of hurt.
The new Windows Ink introduces so Windows Hello is obviously the trademark of what they're doing there, so capital W, capital H, and Windows Ink, capital W, capital I, Windows Ink introduces a new panel with different applications like sticky notes, which can be accessed by pressing the stylus button.
Yeah, I've seen that too. Yep. I don't know how to use it, but it's there.
Yeah, they can use that on the Surface.
Ink can also be activated from the lock screen. Sticky notes can detect handwriting with Katana enabled and schedule meetings based on whether the user writes keywords like dates, times, or contacts. How's that
Katana,
going?
isn't that a Japanese fighting weapon?
I thought it was a car.
Yeah, or I think,
That's
or is
Cortina.
it a like a puffer fish you eat like sushi?
Pufferfish.
Oh, yeah.
Might be a pufferfish.
I don't know. It's making stuff up.
Pufferfish sounds good.
How would I know?
The wind-
Cortana is the Siri copy. Katana is a
Yes.
fighting weapon.
There you go.
and katakana is the Japanese alphabet. Now, the application allows users to perform tasks using their voice, like checking weather, playing music, and setting reminders without having to log in. Oh, hello, Apple.
Basically, Siri.
Yeah, that's
Tell me this, how many of you even use Siri or any of those things? You sit there talking to your phone for anything at all?
I don't. Very, very rarely.
I don't
The only thing I
dictate to
use
it.
the only thing I use my speech thing for is text messages because I don't type. I actually dictate my text messages.
If I'm driving or something and a message comes in, I can say, hey Siri, what was the last message? If she reads it out, then I can say reply and talk that way. But other than that, if I'm not driving,
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
it.
use it.
That's right. Yeah. I don't
Unless
use
I'm
it.
at a friend's place, I'm like, hey, check this out. Hey Siri, and then say something or other.
Yeah, look, I hardly use it, but I'm glad it's there. Put it
Look,
that way.
I use it for sometimes to dictate, which I don't often do. I just forget about that feature, really. But I use it to set reminders. I'll use it to add to calendar. So, comes in handy. Works pretty good, I suppose.
You going to talk to your desktop with Cortana?
No. Well, I don't think it sort of works on your desktop. I don't know.
Yeah.
I've never had it
That's the
work.
new thing. Cortana is going to be working on your desktop. It's been working in the US and Japan or something so far. They hadn't brought it to Australia yet, but they're going to activate it.
But how?
Oh, really?
What
Okay.
sort of mic does it use? Like just your webcam?
Whatever you got plugged in.
Like a webcam mic?
Webcam, mic, headset, Turtle Beach like I've got, or
But does
Eric's
that?
big microphone.
But to access the webcam mic, the webcam has to turn on, or can it sort of just turn the microphone on and not the you know what I mean? Like
I don't know about that one, but any other microphone that's currently plugged in. This headset's always plugged into the computer, so I could just mention something, but
right? Okay.
you could. Laptops and stuff are going to have microphones already built into them, so they'll just be put in listening mode like the Macs are.
Right.
Yeah.
For years, you've been able to go to any Google web page and say, "Okay, Google," and the web page will let you search.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I suppose like I don't try it out too much because my mic's not always on. So after I
Sorry
do
to all those people listening to the podcast who we've been saying, "Hey Siri" and "Okay Google," and now their machines are going crazy because it's hilarious.
Okay. Hey, Siri.
Xbox Xbox One
What's
shut
the
down.
weather?
Yeah, what about shove your iPhone in someone that's got a bloody lisp and Siri goes crazy? Like
That's despicable.
like Alan Searle.
Alex Seal, yes.
Yeah, she gets someone like that, put Siri in front of him, and she doesn't shut
Let
up.
it go off.
It doesn't
Think it explode.
I know, it doesn't shut up. But anyway, all right. What have you got for us, Eric? What did you find interesting this week?
Well, this is something I just got a minute ago. We were all talking earlier. Well, you weren't talking. You mentioned that you said, "Oh, when's the HSC coming?" Blah blah blah. You know, the hybrid, whatever.
Yep.
Well, I just look at the old thingamajig. What do you call it?
Ambient
Release.
Oh yeah.
And apparently, they will start work on the HFC hybrid rollout September this year.
I believe it's going to come to Robina or Gold Coast 2017. And I read an article just...
because they started in September. So in January you'll have it.
But I read
also... There's a lot less to do with HFC compared to a complete, build.
But apparently they've only just started because they've only just signed contracts with everyone or something. Like, I don't...
look, who knows?
Yeah, look, that story I read last week, I didn't pull it out because I'm just over it. I just want it. I don't want to talk about it. I just want it. But yeah,
it's a bit frustrating.
So HFC, so hopefully that will be coming. That's the hybrid, as Eric
Total
said.
of 219 regions are forecast to receive an HFC NBN connection before the end of 2018. So any time between now and 2018.
So now Jace is on the mid-north coast of New South Wales, and in a population of 2, he's got the NBN.
Yep.
So that's,
it's good, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a good one. Good work. And so he was just telling me before he's getting 12 down, 2 up?
No,
5
I
up?
upgraded it to 25.5.
Oh, that's right. The lowest plan was...
How much are you paying for that? Can I ask? How much are you paying for that?
70.
That's all right.
And what's your
That's
limit?
less than what I'm playing.
Unlimited quota.
Okay.
Oh, man. Who's that through?
So if you went up to
TPG. 140.
140, how much would that cost you?
99, I think it was.
Okay, that's pretty good.
That's how much I'm paying now.
You don't
for
want
Telstra
140?
Snail.
Don't really need it.
No, you probably
Very
don't.
good.
What
Could
do
pay
you...
an extra $20 for nothing. Or 30.
Yeah, you don't
It's
need it.
It's the up speed that counts, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I've got fast enough now to upload podcasts in like 10 minutes as opposed to overnight, so I'm happy with that.
Yeah. Well, I've been doing the videos and stuff and uploading using my 4G on my phone. Like, because I've got a monthly 8 gig, and I found that I wasn't using the 8 gig, and I thought, oh, hello, why don't I just use it just to upload everything, and I'll get to bed quicker.
Yeah, I got
So,
7.5, and I hardly use it.
Hey, Glenn, how did you get 8 gig?
I don't know.
Did you go on contract? You get a new phone?
Yeah.
Telstra?
You
did?
Yeah, I think they gave me 1 gig. I think it was at something like 6 gig. Then I shared it with Kim, so they gave me another gig. And then they gave me Apple Music for 2 years, so that's another gig, I think.
So what plan are you on? How much are you paying a month?
Well, the whole plan, the internet and...
Just yours?
Well, I've got internet and 2...
No, just your mobile.
My own mobile.
Oh, yeah, did you bundle it, did you?
Yeah, it's all bundled, but separated
What did you
out.
bundle it with?
Well, my mobile, I think, is 113. Kim's is about
Right.
70. And
Right.
the internet is about 100 and something.
Right.
I got a Telstra $40 a month plan for 7.5 gigs.
Is that on a plan or a
SIM
prepaid?
only.
Oh, yeah, SIM only's a good with Telstra if you've got your own phone.
Is that 4G?
Yep.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Those plans came out just after bloody iPhones came out. So
Yeah, I had
Right.
to convince Telstra that they actually had that plan because I'm like, every time I logged onto their app, it says you got 1.5 gigs. So I went into web chat and I'm like, no, I should have 7. They're like, we don't have a 7 plan. I'm like, yes, you do. Where's the page? Here's a link to your page. Okay, well, prove that you signed up for I'm like, it's in.
Jeez.
You can see that in my account, can't you? No, so I forwarded the welcome to Telstra letter that had all the information and the quota, and they're like, oh, okay, let us just increase that for you.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, they're good.
They
Left
are
hand
good.
doesn't know what the right hand's doing.
They're too big. They're too big. Did you have any stories, Jace, you want to impart
Yeah.
onto us?
Speaking of internet service providers, they're on notice. Stop putting pictures of fast athletes on broadband advertising. Tell us how good your service actually is. That's the call from the ACCC, which has today announced a review into the advertising and promotion of broadband services and the speeds and performance that ISPs offer their customers. Certainly time for an industry that's seen its fair share of dissatisfaction. In the first quarter of 2016, the TIO received more complaints about internet services than any other telco service. And in an industry flooded with plenty of plans from big and small providers, little more clarity could go a long way. The ACCC argues that ISPs are not giving consumers clear information about broadband speeds and performance in their advertising plans and services. At the moment, it's difficult for consumers to access accurate information as broadband advertising is not focusing upon speed and performance. Consumers are being presented with little information or vague claims like boost and fast, or just pictures in advertising of athletes or animals. Consumers need accurate information about broadband speed and performance so they can understand if what they are being offered will actually meet their needs. As part of the review, the ACCC has released a discussion paper calling on the industry to provide input about how consumer information could be improved. Ultimately, the watchdog is aiming to increase competition and get better results for consumers when they're spending money on this modern necessity.
But it is right, isn't it? Like you see, the athletes and the lines behind them, the wind and fast broadband and all this sort of... Oh, what is that?
Yep.
And all this...
I just got an idea, sorry.
and all this sort of stuff. And, everyone's slow, except Jace on the mid-north coast.
Well, the funny thing is...
We're paying for 25.5, but I get about 10.3.
Hey?
Right.
Good day.
Really? That's a bit rough.
When we were
That's not
12.1,
right.
I was getting about 9 and probably about 3/4 of a meg, but now we're paying for 25.5. We get about 10 on a good day and 3. Sometimes it's been right down to 1, and I've had to reboot the modem 2 or 3 times just to get it to resync again, and then suddenly we get up between 10 and 15, but it never gets to 25.5 ever.
But that's not
that's
right.
not right.
Because that's the ADSL type
Yeah.
stuff. Because when you got fibre to your house, and I'm assuming it's straight to the house, it should be a
Constant.
rock solid
Yeah.
25.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because
Had a guy
it's a
from
single
Telstra-
connection.
Had a guy from Telstra walk around a couple of weeks ago, and he's like, we've been getting a lot of complaints in this area about the internet being slow and dropping out and stuff. You guys having that? And at the time we were on 12.1. I was like, well, we get close to 12.1, so it's not too bad, but we're not through Telstra, but we never get the advertised speed, which is what they should be advertising as well.
Because,
That's not right. Because that's the whole
not.
problem with the ADSL.
Yep.
But I know, Eric and I are on cable broadband, and, it's pretty solid, Eric. You can do a speed test pretty much any time at random, and you'll get...
it'll be 90 plus.
Oh, I could do it
And they
whenever.
say-
100 down, 2 up.
They say on the plan you've got and on what I've got, it says they advertise 100 megabits per second or more, right? And you get 113, whatever. And I'm always getting about 98, 99, so I can't complain about that. But if they said 100 megabits per second, I was getting 75, I'd be complaining.
Well, that's right.
Yep.
Yeah.
Because that's what I'm paying for.
Yeah. Exactly.
I'm doing a test right now, and I've got top of 13, 14.
I wonder if that's a TPG
Throttle.
exchange or, DSLAM.
But,
They've got
yeah.
the cheap NBN DSLAM or something. I don't know.
But it doesn't matter. What's the point of putting fibre to the home if they're going to have some bottleneck at the exchange? Why are they scrimping on...
No, this is what I don't understand, because you've got to do a dedicated fibre connection to your house. There should be no lag at all.
That's right. It should be as solid as the Rock of Gibraltar.
Just
Yeah,
right.
I've got
Solid.
just
Should
did
be
a
as if
test. I've
you're-
got
no one's on it.
15
Yeah, that's right. And
15.4.
they can't come at you with, everyone's on
If
Netflix.
the whole world
That's
switched off the
rubbish.
internet and you were the only person on it, that's the speed you should be getting.
Yep.
Because it's dedicated.
Yep.
But you should
That's
be,
wrong.
Yeah, it's wrong. There's gremlins somewhere. That's not right.
Somewhere.
There's gremlins at the exchange, or
That's not right.
it's got possums chewing on your cables. I don't know.
Possibly.
Bandicoots.
I'll tell you.
Hello, possums. How are you all today?
I'll tell you, someone that was happy this week was Steve No, not Steve. Tim Cook.
Do you like my comment, Glenn? Don't read it out.
What, did you put a comment in the show
can read
notes?
No, under Tim Cook's photo.
Okay, right. Now, okay, so why is Tim Cook happy? Tim Cook is happy because
he's taking credit for something he didn't invent.
at an employee meeting in Cupertino this week, Tim Cook announced that Apple recently sold the billionth iPhone. 1 billion iPhones.
What's wrong with that picture?
Well, I'll tell you what's wrong
with that picture.
He said because he said they've recently sold the 1 billionth iPhone, but he's holding it up.
That's
So,
right.
Who did he sell
like,
it to?
Come on, but you just grab someone off the shelf. I need something to hold up.
Yeah, that's right.
I need a victory lap. I need to do a victory lap.
So anyway, that's there you go. A billion iPhones. So Android devices were able to beat Apple though to the 1 billion milestone. I think, and when was that? That was September last year. Because I don't know. They're cheaper. There's more of them, isn't there? So that's why, obviously more. Now Apple yesterday or this week announced that it sold it says in this is how this article was written. Apple yesterday announced that it sold just 40.4 million iPhones in its most recent quarter, a drop from 47.5. Oh, that's not a big deal, is it? Yeah. It's an old phone. The the 7's nearly out. You would expect a decline as the year completes.
Of course you would.
Yeah.
Yep.
But
People
anyway,
aren't going to start stocking up on an old phone when there's one out in 2 months.
yeah. Apparently, the Apple's profit dropped 27% as a result.
But the same. Well, that happens every quarter when they release a new phone.
Yeah, I know.
I think people just worry too much. But I'm not upgrading. I'm due for an upgrade.
You got a
I'm
6.
happy with mine.
2 years, and I'm not upgrading because I've read all the rumor myths and whatnot, and apparently it's definitely a no speaker jack.
Yep.
Headphone jack.
A slightly different camera.
So what's
I'm
that?
not doing
My
it.
6S. 6S for the win.
Oh, how come you
I
got
think
a
I'm going to
success?
do. I think I'm going to go the 6S, Jason.
Yeah, I had a look at the.
They'll
Plus and
be a lot cheaper,
I think you'd hate the
and
Plus.
I'm not going to go the 7. Not at all. Not with an iPhone. No headphone jack. Bugger that.
Yeah.
What's-
They want you to Bluetooth everything.
Yeah, but then you're going to have to buy their Bluetooth, and they say, "Oh, that'll be $5,000, please." No way.
Look, I'm probably next phone. Like I probably won't buy another iPhone. I don't think. Oh, like this will last me a while.
I can't go back to Android after all the trouble I had with them. I've given up.
Why? What was the trouble?
Look, mate, I did an Android in between. What was it? 2010, probably. I switched from. Maybe 2011. And I thought that's nice. It was a nice phone, but it was such a hassle to upgrade, the crashing.
This is my LG G3. Got it shipped from Singapore from Kogan, and I've only ever put on standard operating system updates. I haven't hacked it. I haven't put on funky things or anything like that.
Tried
And
to make it clean, basically.
it just started rebooting for no reason, and I can't get it out of a reboot loop. And it was fine after the last software update. It was fine for like a month, and then just all of a sudden it starts doing a reboot. And I've plugged it in and had cleared off all of the apps and all the data that I had there. So it's just plain operating system, and tried to reinstall that, and it just keeps reboot. I had the HTC One M7, and that just the first one that I had. The headphone jack stopped working, so any time you plugged in headphones, the audio would still come out the speakers, so Telstra gave me another one. And then that started happening with that one after a couple of months, so I thought, bugger it, I'll just stick with it anyway. And then all of a sudden it'd just switch off and wouldn't come back on again. After a while it'd come back on and then it'd go off. And eventually it just stopped turning back on again. I took it to Telstra and they tried for an hour to get it to come back on because they thought, dead battery because idiot person using it. But he tried it for an hour and he gave up, and he said, look, we're going to send you another one. So I said, yeah, you do that. I'll sell it on eBay and go buy an LG G3. And then I had issues with that, with just standard operating. I'm going to try Cyanogen or something on it just so I can revive it and see what that's like. But I'm not going to buy another Android because I've just had it. They should just work. That's the thing with the Apple. It does just work no matter what you do.
It just works. You're right. It just does work. But I'm a bit upset if the plans are right about their iPhone 7 being what it is. I'm just not going to get one. I want to go the 6S or the 6S Plus. Beautiful camera, nice operating system. It just works.
I think the Plus would be too big, though. This one's good because you can just reach across there, and they've got the slight double tap on the home button will drop the screen down halfway, so your thumb can reach the top when there's tabs and stuff. But if you get the S, it's just way too far for you to use one-handed, and they would just.
Plus.
Oh well, I've got the Plus now, but I don't use it one-handed anyway, so it's all right. I don't mind that. I don't mind that, but disappointment with the i7 if it's true.
Oh look, I don't think Bluetooth headphones would worry me too much, really.
No, it's not that. That doesn't worry me. It's not that. See, when you're using Bluetooth, it doesn't worry me using it because it's discreet. There's no wires. That's fine. I get all that. But you're going to have to either the thing's going to need charging, the headset, the Bluetooth. It'll probably just be a little wire thing like this, right? It'll probably just stop there. But Bluetooth, everyone knows if you stream Bluetooth, and that's effectively what you're doing, you're streaming from your phone to your headset, it sucks the battery constantly. Right? So if you're going for a jog or you're listening to your radio in bed or whatever, podcast, you wake up the next morning, your battery will be dead. And that's the thing.
Plugged in all the time.
Constantly plugged in, which is not good for the battery to keep having it constantly plugged in.
That's why they want you to
do that.
Buy a juice pack or something and keep that plugged in all the time as a second battery with a case.
Yeah, but see how ridiculous. Then we're back to 2008.
Yeah.
And then they're going to say, and it comes with the phone when you first buy it, but then suddenly, typical Apple, it'll break after a few months, and then you're going to have to replace it for $99.
Yeah, look,
I don't.
My battery in the 6S is crap.
I think Apple are doing. It's a cynical grab, as far as I'm concerned, by Apple, to get you by the short and curlies. So you're stuck into their ecosystem. You have to buy their stuff that goes with the phone.
Yeah, they will have.
They know that the iPhone
can plug into it, but it'll be Apple only making them.
Yeah, because they know that the iPhones it's a mature product now. They know this. And the Wall Street Journal wrote about this 12 months ago, and Glenn and I spoke about this a few weeks ago, that it's a mature market now. It's flat. How much more growth can you get? Easily invent another phone that people have to rely on for their accessories, and then you get a revenue uplift. And I'm not going to be part of it.
Yeah, because you can only get Apple accessories, and that's it. Yeah, that's how they work.
It's not going to be part of it.
Isn't Bluetooth like a standard though? So.
But it'll be the Apple Bluetooth, it has to be the Apple Bluetooth.
You think
it'll sort of work with the others, but not as well.
Yeah, it'll work, but it'll get crackly and all that sort of stuff. It's like the software they have on the cars. It's CarPlay, right? Apple CarPlay. If you plugged in an Android phone, the CarPlay software is not going to pop up.
No.
It's only going to pop up if you plug an Apple phone into it.
Even the current headsets are like that. You can only use the control with the button to fast forward volume up and down and stuff on the Apple headphones. You can't plug an Android headset or anything else in and control those.
No, you can't. That's right. Because they've got embedded in the plug some sort of firmware that tells it what to do.
Yeah. Because I know, I bought a couple of those little lightning bolt chargers, whatever they call them, for the phones from China or whatever, and they don't work anymore. Every one of them. So something's updated somewhere.
Yeah, they update because they put firmware on the chip.
Yeah. All right, Eric, what else? Have you got another one?
I have something else here. What have we got here? Let me just page down on this boy. Let me just see that. Census night. Oh, I saw that story. Okay, quick story. Apple rumoured to include iris scanning capabilities starting in 2018. Hang on a minute. Isn't Windows already doing that? Oh, no, it's facial recognition. Sorry. That's right, because Apple will say that we invented it first.
Yeah.
Windows, even though they're still calling it iris scan because they reckon it's going to look at your eye. Rubbish. I reckon it's just going to look at your face, but it's going to look like it's looking at your eye, so they're not accused of copying Windows.
Why can't they just make one that just smells you? And says, "Oh yeah."
How about if I drop my pants and drop a great big smelly one towards the microphone and see if that picks it up?
That's what Glenn was saying I was doing earlier.
Yes.
That's true.
Popping off.
I popped off.
So that's that one. A short story if you want to read about that. It's there. Apple appoints Bob Mansfield to oversee electric vehicle team. I think that's a bit of a rumour, but he retired in 2012, but apparently he's coming back to do their car thing. And Apple Car rumored 2020 launch may have slipped to 2021.
The
I
thing they
reckon
haven't announced may be coming a bit later.
I just think that's going to be 2025,
Yeah.
not 2021. There is no way in God's earth Apple is going to build a car as good as the current Tesla, for example.
If you're
And that people are going to want to buy.
if you're 4 years away from a deadline, why would you extend it by 1 year? 4 years away. You know what I
Because
mean?
they
Like,
probably know they're that behind.
yeah, but why
They've
would
done
you
their
just?
project plan and gone, hang on a minute. At this stage, because we started a year and a half ago, according to our original project plan, at a year and a half, we should have hired this many people. We should have built the plant. We should have had the designers. We should have had the engineering done. And we're nowhere near that. So now we've got to, well, how much longer do we need?
But wouldn't you?
Another year.
Yeah, but wouldn't you not make that public? Wouldn't you just keep it to yourself and go?
That's
Well,
the
they
issue.
haven't. This is all speculation anyway.
It's
Oh,
all
okay.
speculation.
Right. No,
But-
yeah.
Speculators say the thing that may or may not be happening may take another year or not.
That's right. Or
Definitely,
no, yeah.
maybe.
Yep.
Right.
Now, tell
Call
me,
me baby.
hands up, little quick survey.
Hand up.
Simon
What?
says,
If an Apple car came out, like the first version,
turn it up.
and it was affordable,
Yeah.
right? Let's call it 25 grand, right?
Yeah.
And it was beautiful inside. It did all the things that Apple's noted for. Designed like a Tesla. Would you buy one?
No.
Reason?
I don't even want to be on the
Tesla's
road
got
with
more
one.
experience in it, and
Right?
they've
Yes,
had a lot
reason.
more practice with it.
Yeah, and
It's version 1 of, and you don't buy version 1 of anything.
Anything. No.
there you go, people. 100% of Australians will not buy an Apple car.
We did a survey.
That's right. A survey.
Apple probably
Okay,
wouldn't
at
trust
the
it to
very
be
least, 100% of people up the east coast of Australia will not buy an Apple car's first version.
And if I
We did a
see,
sample in various sections of the east coast of Australia.
that's
Now,
right.
speaking of Apple watches, speaking of Apple and ridiculous products, look, I'm sure that they will come up with a good car eventually, but it won't be, and it won't be because they've developed it in house. It's because they've stolen the Tesla engineers, which they're already doing, the Tesla battery engineers as well, which they're already doing. They're going to steal the engineers from BMW, Mercedes-Benz. Who else are making them? Ford. Who are the others that are making them in Europe? Porsche,
Volvo.
Volt, Leaf. I don't know. No one's going to worry about Volvo. But the German manufacturers, they're already poaching them. So it's not as if they're going to develop it because they're clever. It's because other people are clever. Speaking of clever, the Apple Watch. Remember last week on the Facebook when we were having a little short conversation about the new Tag Heuer watch that they're bringing out?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes.
That is a proper smartwatch.
It looks nice, doesn't it?
You like it?
Beautiful watch.
What was it? $2 grand,
Proper
$2.5 grand, something
Yeah.
like that. Yeah.
Worth every penny.
Yeah.
Apple's got a
every
watch for
penny.
that much anyway, so
But also, that Apple car, they've opened up part of that space station building that they're working on or whatever, the headquarters. They're doing
UFO.
perfumes and scents as well, the Apple scent. So they're working on a
Right.
Steve Jobs
What's
scent.
the Apple scent? The smell of arrogance from the Cookie Monster? Is that what it is?
smells like Steve Jobs.
They're working on a Jobsy scent. And what they're going to do is they're going to wash the car leather in the scent before they build the car.
Are you taking the proverbials?
I'm
You
making
for
up a rumour.
Oh, good. Excellent. Rumour.
It's the
rumour
Apple
has
scent.
it that Glenn is right.
Because, look, there has never been a rumour about the Apple scent. And now we should trademark that name, the Apple scent.
Apple scent.
Apple scent.
And eventually they'll get better and have like another 49 versions. It'll be the Apple Fitty scent.
Well done.
Good stuff.
Thank you.
But you've got to trademark that and patent that straight away because otherwise Cookie Monster will take credit.
He will.
We'll
He
have to
listens to us
register it
every
now.
week. He does listen because he's scouring around the world looking for ideas he can steal.
He's
and
celebrating
puts them
now.
as his own.
He's already celebrating that joke.
Yes.
Talking about
He's slapping his
their
thigh.
car though, Apple is very scared to do anything they think might be a problem, particularly with PR and stuff. So I think they would not have a self-driving car for much, much longer.
Oh, no way.
They wouldn't
No
trust
way.
the
They
car
wouldn't-
to
they wouldn't.
self-drive.
Google have been working on this for many, many years, the self-driving car, and even
Tesla's
they're
like a couple
struggling
of people
to get it
died or
right.
whatever stuff happens.
right.
But Apple would
And
be
Apple's
like,
not gonna
holy crap, somebody died. That's it. That's the end. We're never going to do it
Apple
again.
wouldn't do it. There's no way. They'd be stupid to do it. But it wouldn't surprise me if they did, because they have been that arrogant lately. And I tell you what, this is Cookie Monster's last hurrah. If he doesn't get this right, because he's come out with nothing since Steve Jobs died.
Yeah.
You know me, Jason. I'm an Apple fanboy. I love their product.
Yeah.
But when it comes to the Cookie Monster, he has had his time. He's not visionary. He's not
All their
exciting.
desktops are over.
He's not an
5 years
ideas
old.
man. He's hopeless.
The
Hopeless.
desktops need a refresh.
Hopeless.
They need a new scent.
His product was the Apple Watch, and it's a disaster.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was mostly
It looks
created
like
by people.
it looks like the old digital watch I had when I was in year 7.
That's, yeah.
The calculator watch.
Yeah, they were awesome, right?
Yeah, back then they
I
were.
love that in year 7.
Yeah, they were cool.
And I didn't have to plug it in to charge it.
Every half hour.
No,
Now,
that's a shocker.
Jace, have you got another something for us?
Oh, yeah, the Fitzner family have received their first quarterly energy bill since Natural Solar installed their Tesla Powerwall and solar system in January 2016, with the price of their power plummeting from $660 to a mere $40.46 in energy charges.
Sweet.
That's a payback period of extraordinary 6 to 7 years on the system. Managing Director of Natural Solar said that they knew the result would be good, but having the data to back it up just cements it for us. It's extraordinary to see such...
Sorry, go on.
It's extraordinary to see such significant decrease for the Fitzner family. Clearly demonstrates why we're experiencing such strong demand for our home and commercial battery storage solutions. Williams described the Fitzners as being energy-conscious customers. When speaking to Nick, he revealed that he simply does the standard things anyone would do when having a solar system installed. The functionality of the Tesla Powerwall is simple, with this device storing solar energy during sunlight hours, allowing homeowners to use it at night, avoiding the need to sell excess energy back to the grid. The Powerwall, which carries an impressive 10-year warranty period, has such a range of new and varied functionalities. Based in Sydney's Hills district, the Fitzner family includes 4 bedrooms, internal laundry, a pool and outdoor entertaining area.
Wow.
Their personal renewable energy solution includes the Tesla Powerwall, an array of 5 kilowatt power of solar panels, a solar edge inverter, and fully integrated bidirectional cloud-based monitoring software to see the direct output of energy from the entire system and the Tesla Powerwall. The family schedules everything so as to preserve the power stored for nighttime usage. Devices are run during the day, the dishwasher in the morning, the pool pump in the afternoon, and not at all if it's cloudy. And the oven use isn't limited, though. He says his wife is a great cook.
Yeah, right. Well, but so the Powerwall, so it's got a 10-year warranty. So I wonder what the lifespan would expect to be, though. Like, pay it off in 7, so you get 3 years of, say, free goodness.
I reckon it'd probably go 1 or 2 years after that, the lifestyle, before you... but I wouldn't buy anything like that, because it's new technology, so the price will come down.
Yeah.
I would buy something like that when the payback period is between 3 and 4 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he said it cost about $16,000 to install everything, so it's not for everyone just yet. But once it starts becoming
when it comes
more
down
common,
to look, I'll be happy when it comes down between 5 and 8.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. Oh,
that'd be bloody brilliant.
my hot water service blew up through the week. Stupid thing.
Yeah, I saw that. Did you replace the tank?
Yeah, had to get a whole new one. Got an electric one. Solar turned out to be about $3,500, and electric was like $1,000. So
do you have gas in your house?
No.
Only if he has
it's a shame.
cabbages and onions.
And baked beans.
Yeah.
But but like, you know, the tank that was in this place, you know, because we've only just moved in here, the tank that was here, the manufacturing date was like 1987. So it had a good innings.
Right.
It was like 30-year-old.
That's
Before
not
you were
bad.
born, Glenn.
Sorry?
Because our one broke a few weeks ago, and it was electric hot water, big, massive tank, sitting in the laundry, not wasn't even hidden or anything, took up so much room.
Yeah.
It was over 2 meters high, massive thing. So it went, no hot water. So I just ring up whatever, and because we've got gas, I just bought continuous gas hot water. Little box that sits outside on the wall.
Yeah, that's pretty good. We don't have gas in the ground. So, would have had
Get
to...
bottles.
You can, but I could be bothered. Look, I just wanted to replace as quick as possible. I just didn't want to muck around. I'm sick of mucking around, so I just replaced it with an electric one. It would cost me $1,000. So happy days, and happy days for you too, Eric. Lives in Sydney. I wonder if this is you. Uber Eats is now in Sydney. It's
I don't use Uber. I still like taxis.
Oh, you might like this one.
You can order your Big Mac.
Yeah, working in partnership with over 100 restaurants. Uber Eats is a standalone app on Android and Apple. Users are able to log in with their existing Uber account and pay with a card they've already got stored. How's this? Now, restaurants offering delivery through the service include, which I've never heard of any of them, Eric Mighty lives down there, 3 Blue Ducks, Sake, Butter, Thievery. Why would you buy something from Thievery?
You don't need to. That's the point, right?
That's the point. They just take your money.
Yeah, and the food never comes.
That's right.
Fratelli Fresh and Love Supreme. Now, Uber Eats is limited to Sydney's inner suburbs. Is this
there you
where?
go.
Is this
it's all the eastern suburbs wankers.
So this isn't you then? You're not in the eastern suburbs?
Bondi.
No, wouldn't live there for all the tea in China.
So whereabouts? You're more out to the west.
I'm on the north. I'm on the west. Give me a break.
He's a North Shore boy.
To celebrate.
Can't you tell? I've got the upturned collar. Isn't that a dead giveaway?
Yeah.
Should be.
It is celebrate the launch. Delivery will be free for a limited time. Eventually, a $5 flat fee will be charged. Customers can make orders between 11 a.m. and 10 p.m. 7 days a week. There you go. Eastern suburb people. Surrey Hills. That sort of
Jump
area.
on it. That'd
Bondi.
be right. Surrey Hills.
Bondi. Oh, looks like Balmain just misses out. But anyway.
Oh, what a shame.
Yeah, look, there's a picture. All right. Oh, look, the next story is a good one. Eric, you got any more? Let's keep going with you.
No, I'm done, my
You're
friend.
good? All right. Well, I'll have another one because I've got one that's really interesting. This is one that probably Jace want to pick up for an old fart geek one episode because you don't have to talk about computers. What about this guy? Incredible collection of over 400 vintage boomboxes is up for sale. Now have a look what this guy's got. He's a New Zealander. He's collected boomboxes for 15 years. He's auctioned his entire collection. According to Kenton, this is the guy that
He might be able to he'll get enough money to fly back to New Zealand.
No, he's in New Zealand. He's starting the bid at $20,000, but says he could easily sell the top 20 units for that much. August the 1st is when bidding stops. I don't think he's got any bids yet. It's not on eBay. It's on some sort of New Zealand auction house listy thing. But go and have a look at the pictures. Go to the show notes and have a look at some of the pictures and link back to the article. There's he's got the boombox is. Does everyone know what a boombox is?
Yeah,
it's
a ghetto blast. They used to call it.
Yeah, little portable cassette recorder. A couple of one speaker each side. Single.
That's what you call a guy who shoots lizards is a gecko blaster.
Oh, must be getting towards the end of the show. All right, so go and have a look at Kenton's stuff. What he's got there. How many more have I got? I've got a couple. You got any more, Jace?
Probably one more will do.
Okay. Hit it.
After a number of network outages that left Telstra red-faced this year, the telco has announced a $250 million investment to improve network resilience and increase capacity across its network nationwide. Hurrah! In February, Telstra admitted that a significant number of customers were left disconnected after an embarrassing human error knocked out its network. The telco was hit with similar issues a month later. Both incidents led to widespread customer criticism, with Telstra offering free data days to make peace. Now Telstra CEO Andy Penn is promising cold, hard cash to fix the problem. I think Vodafone had to do this at one stage. The $250 million will be spent on enhancing the mobile network's resiliency, improving Telstra reliability in core network, and increasing ADSL broadband capacity to meet increasing demand. It's not new money. Telstra's total spend for the next 6 to 12 months remains the same, but speaking to media today, Penn said Telstra was prioritising network improvements with this investment. They didn't confirm how much the telco had originally set aside, but there was an indication the telco was keen to make up for embarrassing problems in the past. After reiterating Telstra had gone through a very, very long period of no issues of this magnitude, it had faced 2 or 3 incidents that caused more widespread impact than before. Man, if you're trying to push that copper,
Yeah. Yeah, that's crazy.
But the funny thing is, Jason, in the States, they have rejigged their copper network that they can get 100 megabits from copper.
yeah,
In the States, yeah.
they probably got
100
good
down and
copper.
100 down and about 10 or 15 up.
That's
Has
pretty
their
good.
copper been patched together with Coles plastic bags and a bit of silicon?
Maybe. No, but
Ours
I
is.
don't know how they do it. I read about this about a year
Yeah,
ago.
I read
Because,
the same.
America is such a big place that, and a lot of communities were getting together saying, let's do this, and some of the telcos were actually just rejigging the technology at the exchange end to send faster data. I think they're using some sort of compression algorithm from
Oh, okay.
memory.
Probably. But anyway, I don't care. I just want it to happen. I don't care how it happens. I just need
I don't
it.
care
It's
what
gonna
they
happen.
do, just do it.
Now, look, just quickly
You've got
want
to take that up with Murdoch. He's the one who doesn't want people streaming video, which is the whole reason why we're not getting updated to decent stuff.
Oh, what would he know?
Well, he's got a paywall now.
He's had it
So
for
a lot
ages.
of his stuff's got a paywall, so it'd be in his benefit to do it.
But even
Should
things
do.
like you know how on the Foxtel, you got the Fox News channel on Foxtel.
Yep.
Well, then, okay, so you subscribe to Foxtel, you get your Fox News channel, everything's good. But on the Foxtel Go, it's not, Fox News isn't on the Foxtel Go. So
Oh,
obviously,
isn't
hey? Well, you can't watch
I
it.
didn't know that.
Yeah, it's only CNN. So you can't watch Fox News on the Foxtel Go. So he's obviously
You can watch Sky News, though,
yeah. But
yeah,
then
but not Fox News.
that's not, you can't do Fox News. But didn't he just become chairman or something again of the Fox network? He's just,
Oh, I don't.
Probably.
how old is he? Like 100? I don't
120.
110 probably.
Yeah. Now, just
It's all
quick,
they're drinking all the virgin goat's blood.
Ew.
that's like what the Rolling Stones do. They put new blood in the left hand and let the old blood trickle out the right hand, and they get like,
Yeah, blood transfusions
Yeah.
once a month.
whole refreshed. That's Keith's secret.
Get all the like an oil change on a
It worked for Mr.
100-year-old car.
Mr. Burns. Yeah, well, that's what was Keith Richards? Wasn't he saying that his secret to longevity was he just snorts his father's ashes every month or something?
Oh
Something-
God.
Oh, you say so.
Something
Then
like
you
that.
have some weird dreams, man.
All right, look, I just wanted to quickly talk about this census.
No more chili before bedtime for you.
The orange juice, that's what does it. Now, the
That's it.
2016 census, I got my letter today with the password and everything. It's all online this year.
Oh, I haven't got anything.
Or this time round. Yeah, look, I got my little census letter. Woo, there we go.
What's your login password?
Yeah, that's why I flashed it. Now, now it's it's reversed its long-held policy. This is the ABS. Its long-held policy not to use people's names and addresses for the data sets it produces from the count, in hope it will be able to better inform national policy making and decisions. Now, the census is on August the 9th. Historically, the ABS researchers stripped the census data, which includes things like marital status, religion, and employment details, of identifying markers like names and addresses before they analysed it and created data sets. Now, this has been the approach for over 100 years, but that is all about to change. Last year, the ABS decided it would keep names and addresses this time around. So I don't know how do you, have you heard about this, Jace, Eric? Like, are you guys happy, or any comment on the?
I'm not happy.
No,
they're
I
keeping
heard
going.
about this and I'm not happy about it.
No, so okay.
Privacy issue. All they need is data. They need to know things like, are you married? How many kids you got? Whatever those vague general questions that still helps them, plan demographics and cities and hospitals and schools, all that sort of stuff. That's fine, but you don't need my address, you don't need my name, and you don't need how much I earn.
No, last year they decided they would keep names and addresses this time around so it can better link census data with other information to create what they call a richer...
I'm very cynical. That's Big Brother. They want to link that, what you say in the census, to what you're lodging in your tax return. And I don't like that at all.
Well, that's right. Like, that's not what it's meant to do at this stage
I
of
know
the
it's
game.
not what it's meant to do, but that's what it's going to do.
The linkage process that we use, this is who's this talking? Duncan Young, the Census Program Manager. The linkage process that we had to use previously after... Did I say that? The linkage process that we had to use previously after names and addresses were destroyed was to probabilistic linkage. So linkage based on someone's date of birth, marital status and religion of Australia they live in. So using those kind of characteristics, you can do some pretty reasonable quality linkage. We could link at about an 80% success rate. Okay, so once they strip the names and addresses, they could still link at an 80% success rate. However...
Yeah, I heard Leo talking about that about a year ago, where they had a journalist was given just a bunch of random data about a person, and they managed to track down who the person was and go over and visit them.
Wow. Yeah, right. So, however, it's significantly less than 80% for some population groups. So all this is pretty much... So we're keeping names and addresses, invading everyone's privacy, all for the benefit of a significantly less than 80% for some population groups, like those that are more mobile and move often. So that leads to you either not having information that Australia needs to make decisions, or leads you to have to run extra surveys. Oh, it's just all rubbish. The ABS plans to turn a person's name into an anonymous key that can't be reversed. But I think Jace has just said that, anything anonymous can be brought...
Anything that converts a name to a key needs an algorithm, and any smart programmer will do a reverse hack on that.
So that's right. If they were serious, why would they key it anyway? Why wouldn't they just replace it with gobbledygook? Like just totally random.
Replace it with wingdings.
Yeah, that's right. Now, the original names and addresses were destroyed after 4 years, as compared currently to 18 months.
That's not good enough.
No. None of the agency's researchers will be able to view name and address data while working with other census information, and addresses and anonymised names will only be used for projects approved by senior level committees.
Yeah, but this is the problem. Who's policing the police? Nobody.
Yeah. We have no...
They say all this stuff, but in the background they're doing Mr. Burns.
Oh, look, my thing, they're not going to... They've got no plans in doing the wrong thing now, but 10 years' time, we'll just change that bit of legislation. We'll get all those
10
names.
years, give it 12 months, mate.
Yeah,
12 months.
That's why I don't believe in superannuation. I don't do it, because it changes every 2 seconds. That's rubbish.
That's another issue,
That's
which
rubbish.
is a disaster.
Yeah, it's rubbish.
Absolute disaster.
So why would you bother? So we have no interest in individuals, and that's why we can use anonymous keys and take away from census data and never put them back, because we don't want to know.
That is such rubbish.
Yeah, and we don't need to know. Well, why ask for it? So,
well, then why ask for it? If you don't need to know our name and you're going to black it out, you're going to redact it in inverted commas, then why ask for it in the first place?
Because
if you don't need it, then I'll leave it blank.
So their explanation is here, because we don't want to know and we don't need to know that this is Joe Blow's record. We just want to know that person A here is person A there.
For what purpose?
What a load of crap.
See?
But, yeah. So what are you going to do?
Rubbish.
What are you going to do, Eric? You going to put your name on it, or are you going to put in...
No, I'm going to tell them not. I'm going to tell them I wasn't home.
Mr. Finkelstein.
I was just telling I wasn't home. No one was home.
But aren't you supposed to... You're supposed to be included in someone's census. That's where you stay the night, isn't it? Or something.
Yeah, I'll stay in a car. Stay in the car in the driveway.
With no internet access.
He's homeless.
I was out.
I was a hobo. I was a hobo for a night.
I was out looking for Pokemons.
That's it. There you go. We all were.
That's right. All right. Let's see.
What's the penalty if you don't fill it in?
Well, there was a guy. If you go back and read that story, go back and link to the story. There was a guy that who used to work for them, and he was against it as well. And he said it's a total invasion of privacy. But he said, look, I can't remember. I haven't got that bit of the article here in front of me. But I'm pretty sure he said something like that there's the legislation, the census legislation, doesn't have provision to prosecute anyone that doesn't put their name on it. Something like that, something to that effect. So, look, go to the show notes and have a look if you want to follow. If you've got a bee in your bonnet about the names and addresses.
Oh, I have. Can't stand it. I think it's wrong.
So, so...
why should I tell them the names of my kids, for example? How's that any of their business?
My kids' names are
this age, and they're this age, and they're this sex. That's it.
Yeah, that's fair enough.
Dewey, and Louie.
Yeah. But look, they probably got all the information anyway, like, through the ATO, Centrelink, and whatever, Medicare. But, I don't know. what do you reckon then, Eric? They got all the information, so what, you just don't trust the
No, but it's not
the
that.
ABS?
It's the aggregating of the information. It allows them to put the complete picture together, and I don't like that. Because this is going to become the head document. Okay, this is the head document, and that'll go to Medicare, tax office, health fund, bank, ATO, right, whatever.
All right. Well, looks like
not on.
Looks like Eric's going to do some homework on that. He's pretty serious, so we'll find out. Yeah,
He's studying law, you know.
Yeah.
It says here the legislation says nothing about the destruction, removal, or management of data. It's up to the ABS to best determine the most appropriate way to do that. Yeah, okay. I'll leave it up to you. Nah, not a chance.
But all right. Well, let's we'll come back to that maybe if we think about it in a future episode before the census, and we'll find out what we're all going to be doing if we're allowed to say what we're going to be doing.
I'll be John Citizen.
Yeah, that sounds good. Now, look, I've just got one last quick one, only because I.
Oh, hang on, one last thing.
Yeah.
And it's online, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. You can.
So that's the other thing. They got the IP address as well, which they can easily track. Once it's got an IP address, they just go, oh, it came from Telstra. Telstra, who's that IP address?
But why would they want to?
So if I fill it in, it's via VPN.
But why would they want
And
to?
I'll be doing it from Canada.
But why would they want to? Why would they want to do
That's
all
not the
this?
point.
Yeah, I know what you're
It's
saying.
an invasion of privacy.
Yeah, I know. I look, I'm pretty easy when it comes with all this sort of stuff, but I think that this could be a bit too much for me. I just don't think that they do. I don't think they do need your name. Maybe even maybe. Look, I could probably handle just the address.
No, they don't need that either. I'm not giving them that.
No, but what about suburb, street, suburb?
Suburb's fine. No,
Yeah.
not street.
Suburb.
Australia.
Yes. Okay, so, well, this is what they're up to next, Eric. While you're filling out your census form, don't worry about your VPN, worry about your keyboard getting hacked. Now, a vulnerability across at least 8 brands of wireless keyboards let hackers read keystrokes from 250 feet away. What's that, 125 metres? Something like that. The problem is that the keyboards transmit to their associated PCs without encryption. Now, look, I don't know where this story came from, but that's rubbish. Because, like, well, it's not rubbish, although this is probably happening, and it's something that if you're in a business that you've got sensitive data or whatever, you may want to have a think about this, about using wireless keyboards and the like. That is a problem. But, the story goes on that the keyboards that were examined were keyboards that you've never heard of. Anker, Anker, Radio Shack, I didn't even know they were still going, Insignia, GE Jasco, Eagle Tech, and a couple that I have sort of heard of, Hewlett-Packard, but I don't think I've ever seen a Hewlett-Packard keyboard. Kensington, I thought they made locks. And Toshiba, never seen a Toshiba keyboard. But anyway, yeah, that's right, there. So anyway, they used transceivers from Mozart Semiconductor, which, so anyway, that's the problem. There's some problem. So anyway, it's something good just to think about anyway. Look, your keyboard may be Logitech. There's Logitech, Microsoft, they may be all safe, but it's something, if you're in a sensitive environment, maybe you should do some due diligence on your keyboard and wireless mouse. Just keyboard. Unless you're using ING to log into your bank account. All right, that's about it. Cool.
That's it.
Yeah, lovely. All right, good stuff. Good to see you again, Jace.
Lovely. Yeah, you too, guys.
Yeah, so I hope to see you again pretty soon if you're not doing anything next week.
It's been real.
Yeah, real, man. All right. 50 Cent. See you, Eric. See you next week.
See you, mate.
See you
See
whenever.
you,
All right. So thanks, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. And don't forget the Aussie Tech Radio and the latest episode of the Aussie Mac Zone and Old Fart Geeks. First episode in 12 months. So it should be good.
Hopefully another Obsidian Loft soon.
Good stuff. You have to start a Pokemon one up soon. Obsidian Loft meets Pokemon. All right. Thanks, everyone.
They have Pokemon mod packs you can play Minecraft.
Oh, my God. Okay.
We won't go there.
No, not now anyway. All right, that's it. Thanks for coming in. Thanks, everyone, for downloading, watching on YouTube or the Aussie Tech Radio or wherever. Like our Facebook page, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye, everybody.